This guy is trustworthy.
Sure.
Loyal. Helpful. Friendly. Courteous. Kind. Obedient. Gentle.
The fan camera so old the battery didn't get on the flash.
It didn't play.
Brave. Lame. Error.
Benjamin and Jake.
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to guard my country, to help the law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Again, we'd like to thank everyone for coming out here today to celebrate Buddy's achievement for his Eagle Scout. And it is a great achievement. I've been able to witness my own son Luke and Teresa's son Michael achieve their Eagle Scouts here in the past. And it is a tremendous amount of work. And it just, we know the hard work and perseverance that it takes to get to this level. And we're very proud of Buddy. Just as most of you I know are involved in scouting, so I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but just to be able to attain the rank of Eagle, you've got to complete the requirements for all the previous ranks, which would be Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, Life, and earn a minimum of 21 merit badges, and 12 of those are Eagle specific, and it takes a lot of work to accomplish all that. And also you got to complete the project. And Buddy, he had a project. He done flagpole and landscaping over at Star Mountain High School, which he's a recent graduate. So that takes a lot of time and effort. Soon to be graduate. So we're very proud. We did get a little concerned on the timing of him finishing the project, but he did, and we're very proud of it. And of course, as part of a Scout, their involvement in the community and community service. So we're really proud of it. And one other thing that, you know, these are a lot of the technical things you have to do to become an Eagle. But part of that is also in demonstrating the Scout spirit, which is, as Buddy knows, he had to display that to get here. And that is saying, guys here just said the oath and the law, and they say that every week. And it's more than just words. It's something to live by. And just Buddy, he's done this for years, starting in Cub Scouts and coming on through. And all this just helps you see your purpose in life. And we just ask as he goes forward, just let God direct him and in his life so that he will be able to fulfill that purpose that God has for his life. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Jason Flay, that is Buddy's uncle, and he's got a few words that I think he'd like to say, and he's also an Eagle Scout.
Well, I'm going to go and say that it's quite a shock, quite an honor. But if you can't tell by my father, Chuck Flay, myself, and course, CJ, that you all know, scouting has been part of our lives, and we've been very fortunate to see it continue on to the next generations with Hunter and Dan and, of course, Bud. As I said, I'm quite proud of him. I've obviously seen him growing up from little tiger cub all the way up until right now. So glad to see that he's falling down a path that he takes a lot of pride in, and I hope and I know that he'll continue on with the traditions that he's learned doing scouting, continue on into the future. So with that, we can continue on.
Just so you didn't eagle 1 week from your 18th birthday like you did?
3 days. He got it.
Actually, yeah, he's cutting down. So Dan, I mean, you've got maybe a 24-hour window.
Oh, no. Half hour, guys.
And actually, there's one thing I wanted to do. Back in 1954, my father achieved the rank of Eagle, and my grandfather gave him a ring. And in 2001, when I achieved the rank of Eagle, Dad handed me a ring that my grandfather gave him. And today, Bud, I want to present this to you. And the condition that was given to me is the same condition I'm giving to you. That you can hold on to this until the next Eagle in the family comes. So, hold on.
This time we'd like to ask Charles Flay, Sr. to come forward and say a few words.
This was also a surprise. I didn't figure, being a grandfather, I had to get up and say anything, but I'm very, very proud of my grandson. For getting his eagle. I attained mine, as my son said, in 1954. My brother attained his in 1955, and he was one of 7 eagles from the same troop that got her all on the same night. Now, that was quite an achievement. We had quite a troop going. Well, then along came Jason in 2001, and he made his eagle, and now Buddy, so there's 4 eagles in the Flay family, which I'm pretty proud of. And, I mean, we got Danny coming along, we got Hunter, and we hope that they can also achieve the rank of Eagle. It's a lot of work, but I know personally that twice in my life, being an Eagle Scout, that opportunities came to me that wouldn't have if I hadn't been an Eagle. And this is what I try to point out to the young guys in the troop is, it takes a lot to get there, but it's just the first step on many roads in your life. And when you attain that rank, you gain some kind of respect in the community and in your church. And what I have here today is, I want to present this to Bud on becoming an Eagle. So what? And could you open it up to show you?
Don't save the paper.
Nice taping,
It's not your usual duct tape job, so.
Watch the cake. No. No. Oh.
This time we'd like to ask Assistant Scoutmaster Teresa Messick, Mama Bear, to come forward and say a few words.
I'm Teresa Messick, better known as Mama Bear. I've known Buddy ever since he was a wolf cub when he come and joined my pack, 699. Me and Buddy's been together year after year after year after year till now. And it's had its fun times, it's had its exciting times, and it's had some times when I wanted to. But I've loved every moment of it. I tell CJ and them that he's my boy. I just let you feed him and take care of financial care. And like I said, I've known Buddy ever since real little. We've worked the ranks together. Went and washed clothes one day. They learned how to use a corn laundry machine. Made a menu. Fixed a meal for us that day for CJ, Chris. And his grandma was also there at the house. They cooked. Fixed a fancy table with the layout with the silverware and everything. We went on many campouts together. Stone Mountain and camporees together. I've got to watch him grow up. But he has one problem that I hope one day he will learn. And it's not to procrastinate the last minute.
It's a family trait.
And so now he will always remember, he'll always be remembered in Troop 658. The other boys will hear me say, "Don't pull a Buddy." Paperwork. So you'll always be remembered. So I'll say, I love you. I'm proud of you. And if you ever need me, you know where I'm at.
Aww.
We'd like to ask Travis Gentry to come forward this time. He's been Buddy Scoutmaster at one time, as well as very involved with him in the OA.
12 pages.
Come on up here.
Buddy.
There we go.
12 pages.
See, it's indeed an honor for me to be asked to address you today on behalf of Buddy on the occasion of his Eagle Scout Court of Honor. I wish to thank the Flay family, especially his mother and father, as well as the scouts and leaders of Troop 658, Scoutmaster Patty John, Troop Committee, for the following few short remarks that I have for you today. Long ago, young Charles Flay, just a mere baby. I have a picture of him somewhere, but I seem to have kind of misplaced it somewhere. And he did the normal things that youngsters do. You know, he crawled around on the floor. I got into everything, sucked his thumb, squeezed the cat, that sort of thing. Normal kid stuff. His first words were not Mom or Daddy, not Buddy, no. His first phrase was, "Feed me." Oddly, he keeps saying this phrase over and over. His next few words were camp, and go, and tent, and then let's go to Ravenov and set up tents. It is from his outdoor spirit that Buddy came to the Boy Scout program. It's in his blood. And it's not like a bad blood disease. Scouting's good for Buddy, and Buddy's good for scouting. Having spent some time as Buddy Scoutmaster, it didn't take me long to see that this kid was going to take some figuring out. Now, I'm still working on it, but I'll attempt to share with you what I call Buddy 101. First thing, sometimes he has a northern accent. This can be explained because he lives in the East Wilkes territory, but he goes to school in Yadkin County. See, when you cross the river, the dialect changes, and that's been tough on Buddy. Has nothing to do with the family, it's just all location. He, wearing the scout uniform to meetings and courts of honor and troop functions like camporees, those seem to have been an option for Buddy. But that too can be explained. See, in upper-level management, upper-level managers usually say, well, you know, you do as I say, not as I do. Right? So anything that he can explain away, like where he couldn't find any scout socks to wear with his Sperry's, or a place where he can not wear a scout belt, but he puts rope in.
I haven't done that yet.
He's just trying to teach the younger guys how to tie knots. That's right. When I met Buddy, he was beyond first class. And he had taken his NYLT. And I don't know if you remember that summer, but you were a busy little guy. And I remember the first thing that I thought about was, and he was also on the NYLT staff at that time, and he was really stretched to the limit. He was really at the height of his activity for that summer. And I thought, man, this guy is just too spread out. He just can't, he's never going to get all this done. He can't handle all this pressure at once. Well, boy, was I wrong. He could juggle all of those scouting activities as well as school, and he had somewhat of a social life and the community, as well as he could keep all of us leaders busy trying to plan weekend camping trips. I found that he could take on quite a load when he put his mind to it. It was then that I knew how different and how profound an effect that Buddy Flay would have on this troop's program. He took immediately to being the youth leader that he had been preparing to be. And at no fault of those who preceded him, it was just that if he would do the work to lead the troop, folks like I weren't going to stand in his way. We were going to let him do what he could do. And it was great. It was not long until the other boys were figuring out that the Boy Scout way was what Buddy was all about. When Scouts would read the Scout Handbook and other leadership manuals, it started to make sense to them. See, under his leadership, the troop worked toward a model that was left. It was a brand of scouting that was endorsed by Baden-Powell, and that's what was important. I learned firsthand that Buddy Flay is a true scout, one that lives by the oath and laws daily. There were frustrating days in this Boy Scout program with Buddy. As time passed, the Order of the Era and Camp Raven Knob started asking for more of his time. He was elected to vice chief level positions where his input and his guidance led the local chapter to back-to-back honor status. And he lent many weeks, more than 7, of work to the scout camp at pauper's wages. Camp staff never gets rich, folks. He has sacrificed much of himself to other service, from dollars to hours. The young man has learned how to pay his dues. Buddy, not like no other scout I've met, has learned the value of time. As he got ever closer to completing his Eagle project, I saw him transition. As the heaps of frustration came in waves, he would just keep on rolling up his sleeves. You'd think at times he'd had enough, but no matter how much mud from a rainstorm, nor the need for flowers in front of the sign, nor crazy tidbits of advice that forced him to think deeper, he never gave up. It is the way he faces the trials and obstacles and the way he tells jokes and the occasional half-truth that makes our buddy. It makes him our buddy. The smile, the upbeat attitude, and the constant love of scouting are his hallmark. Tons of people know him outside of the tons of people inside the scouting circle know him, as well as school and the community, and everyone you meet will tell you the same. He's our buddy. And they smile when they're asked about him. It's a little poem, I don't know who wrote it. It's called The Law of Life. The tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and rain and light, but stood out in the open plain and always got its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a scrubby thing. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died as he began. Good timber does not grow in ease. The stronger the wind, the tougher the trees. The further the sky, the greater the length, the more the storm, the more the strength. By sun and cold, by rain and snows, in trees or man, good timber grows. See, it's this kind of person that you're glad to see awarded such a high honor, because you know that he will carry the name of Eagle Scout on honorable shoulders, wherever life may lead him. I'm honored to call him my buddy.
At this time, I'll ask the scouts to go escort Buddy's parents to the front. I would now like to talk about the Eagle. Robert S.S. Baden-Powell introduced badges for achievement in his 1908 book, Scouting for Boys. It is said that Baden-Powell got the ideal of awards from the American naturalist Ernest Thompson Seton, who passed along ideals from his Red Indian Boys Scouts of America. Initially, the highest available rank in scouting in the U.S. was going to be the Wolf Badge, based on the Silver Wolf Badge in Great Britain. However, no Wolf Badge was ever awarded. Several leaders who reviewed the approved version of the Handbook for Boys of 1911 thought that the award should recognize the American Eagle. So by the time the handbook was published, the highest award in scouting in the United States was given its current name, Eagle. Initially, the Eagle Award was described as the highest Scout merit badge. Eagle Scout by itself means to be a great Scout. It means you have achieved scouting's toughest challenge of the advancement program. Scouting goal is to develop each and every Scout into 3 basic aims: physically fit, good citizen, and good personal character. To advance through the system strengthens each of these skills, with Eagle being the culmination of it all. Eagle means you have finished 21 or more merit badges, been a leader of your troop, and know what it means to be of service to others. When you are an Eagle Scout, you are what scouting would be considered to be the best. This time, we'd like to ask Buddy's mom to pin on his Eagle emblem.
I don't mind.
We'd also like to at this time present to Buddy with his Eagle certificate. And also at this time we'd like to get Buddy to pin on the mother's pin.
He's a better man who does not go back. Thank you.
And the father pin.
Yeah, I have to clean that. I'd like to call Travis Gentry up here for the mentor pin. You can't tell me you didn't expect this. You can't tell me you didn't expect this. Travis has helped me out a lot, so that's why I'm giving him this. He's helped me out not only in the troop, but in OA and everything.
Travis has bailed you out a lot.
Amen.
Alright, I guess the final part of this is I'd like to talk some. Everybody here knows me. That's why you're here. But I would not be at this point in my life if it wasn't for my family, my friends, and all of my fellow Scouters. I know one day, probably, I can't remember. It was in the fall last year sometime. But we had a, I don't know, when we go to Winston to the Mexican restaurant.
Oh. I've been trying to forget it.
Oh, well, not King when we got kicked out, the other day. Actually, I think never mind, we won't talk about that. But anyway, we're sitting in there, and just about everyone that was there was already an Eagle Scout. And they were just talking to me and giving me pointers, and Chuck Harmon was there, and he helped me out, and Travis was there, and Ernie was there, and there was several guys there that were all helping me out, just giving me pointers. And at that point, I didn't feel like I had enough time to get it. I wanted to get it, but I didn't feel like I had enough time. And that night, I realized that I had a lot of people that would be really upset if I didn't get it. And I probably put a lot more work into it after that night. But I've been in Scouts since I was a Tiger Cub. And Teresa's been with me since I was a wolf. And my dad, he's been my scout or my Cub Master in Cub Scouts. And Travis has been my Scout Master. Mike's my Scout Master. And just all these people that are here are the reason that I'm here. And I'd like to thank everyone. Now my favorite part, where I get to say "feed me." Everyone for food. So everybody's invited to eat, even the guy in the back that eats everything at Travis's house there, George. Thank you everyone for coming.